Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for watching. So today I'm going to be telling you about the Raymond Weber case, or Weber. I may be saying that wrong and please forgive me if I am. I'm going to start with the actual event. So it took place in Vacaville, California, which is near Sacramento, and it happened at a military housing apartment complex unit on January 30th at around 12:30 a.m. So for unknown reasons, him and two other girls were all together there in the apartment, and at some point he starts to accuse these two girls of trying to set him up. So he pretty much believed this so much so, he was so paranoid that he actually ended up killing both of them. And after that, he then went on Instagram and decided to start broadcasting a live video. So in the video, this is where you can tell that he was very panicked and paranoid, and a lot of people say it looks like, he was on drugs. And in the video, you can see him, walking around doing stuff in the apartment, and you can see the two bodies in the background. And he stops at some point to, mess with the bodies, and he even shows them on camera. And he, at some point, makes threats, over the bodies to his brother, who we'll talk about later, who he believed set him up. So because of this video, somebody had called the police at around 12:42 a.m. worried because they had saw the bodies on the video. So the police showed up and they found the apartment barricaded by Raymond, and the police had to evacuate the surrounding complexes because he wasn't cooperating, and they realized they were going to have to use force. So they evacuated everybody, and after an 8-hour negotiation, and they had to use gas bombs, and finally they had to shoot a taser gun, like through some open hole or something like that. They shot him with a taser gun, and finally they apprehended him and arrested him. And when they went inside, they found the lifeless bodies of two nude females. So that was the event. Next, we're going to talk more about the victims and a little bit more about other people who played a key part in this case. Okay, so moving on, we're going to talk about our first victim, who is actually a minor. So I changed her name. So in this case, we're going to call her Tiffany. So Tiffany was 15 years old, and she was from Elk Grove, California. When she was 14 years old, she was listed as an at-risk runaway because she has mental health issues and she had a history of running away, basically. She was actually found soon after that time when, according to that missing report, she was found soon after that. But allegedly she had some problems at home, which led her to run away again this past time, which is how she possibly had run-ins with Raymond. They were saying supposedly maybe she was staying with him, or at the time of the murder she was staying with him, allegedly. I'm not too sure. So her parents have not released her identity and asked that the media do the same because she was a minor. And when her high school found out about it, they did release a public statement, also leaving her name out, just stating their condolences to the family. And I couldn't really find any other information about her before or after this. She was a minor, so they are pretty close-lipped on it, if that's how you say that. So, okay, moving on to our next victim, which was Savannah Ray the Burge. excuse me if I'm saying that wrong. She was 26 years old from Georgia, but she was currently living and working in Utah. She was working at FedEx. She had a 4-year-old son, and it is believed that he was with his father, like in another state at the time of the murder. Like he wasn't with her, like staying with her or anything at the time. From what I saw, she only had one brother, and her parents were separated, but they both had contact with her from what I could tell, and both cared about her. Her birthday was just a few days away, so some reports state that she was 27, but she was actually 26. She was visiting Raymond in California because they were actually dating, and they went to go meet his family, which according to her mom, they were dating once before in the past, and things just didn't end well, so the mom wasn't too happy about that. So during this visit to California, Raymond decided to propose to her, and she said yes. So about a week before the murders, she called her mom to show her the ring and tell her the news about the engagement. The relationship status between Savannah and Tiffany, our first victim, is unknown, as in, you know, how well did they know each other? Did they get along? You know, considering the age difference, Savannah being 26 and Tiffany being 15, it's hard to believe that they were just friends on their own. So I think that they were brought together both because of Raymond. I'm not too sure how. So next we're going to be talking about Savannah's mom. Her name is Enya Taylor. Where the reason we're talking about her, you know, is yes, she's her mother, but she was the one who confirmed Savannah's identity through facial features seen in the video. And also she has been the main source of information about the events leading up to the murder. You know, she gave the information how they dated in the past and it didn't end well, and that they were engaged. And so she did play a key part in the case as far as, you know, providing information. And Enya, along with one of Savannah's friends, opened a GoFundMe fundraiser so they could raise money to bring Savannah's body back home for proper burial. And so that pretty much sums up, you know, her mom. And her mom has also just shared tons of, you know, pictures, and her mom just was really upset by this, so she continues to post and talk about it. The next person we're going to be talking about is Raymond's brother, Marcus. He was when the headlines came out, it said rapper's brother, and so he kind of played a role as far as that goes. He was in the headlines, and he was also being accused by Raymond in the video of being the one to set him up. So his name is Marcus Webber. He is 25 years old, and he was in jail at the time of the murders on unrelated charges. I'm not sure what he was serving time for. And like I mentioned, he was the one being accused in the video for being the one to set up Raymond. He did a interview with Adam from No Jumper, and it was on his podcast, and he stated that he did not agree with his brother's actions. He also confirmed that he didn't even know who the two girls were, so he doesn't understand why his brother would be saying that he set them up with these two girls, because he wasn't even sure who they were. He says that Raymond most likely has mental health issues, and that's the reason for all this to have happened. He said that they weren't even really that close because there is an age difference, and Raymond had just always lived his own separate life, so they never actually got too close. He stated multiple times that he feels really bad for the two girls because they were really young, and he feels bad for their families and anybody who had to see the video. And he plans to push forward with his rapping career. So the perpetrator is Raymond Webber. He's the main guy here, the guy who did all this. He is 29 years old and he's from Sacramento, California. And like I mentioned before, obviously he's the brother of the local popular rapper Uzzy Marcus. He is an Army vet, but he was not active at the time of being in the military complex. The apartments wanted to make it clear that he was not had anything to do with them. Has a criminal history of violence. In 2006, he was sentenced and served 6 years in prison for felony assault. Soon after that, in 2014, he was questioned about the shooting death of his then girlfriend, 19-year-old Nicole Duarte, perpetrated by his other brother, 16-year-old Antoine Weber. He was questioned because he was believed to have been present at the time of the shooting, but no charges were pushed against him at the time, but his brother was charged for the murder. Also, sorry, I have my notes here, but also it was reported by another ex of Raymond that right before the shootings, I think it was about like a month prior or not too long prior to the murders, he had actually shot at one of his other girlfriends, his ex-girlfriend. I'm not going to say he has all these girlfriends, but his ex-girlfriend at the time, and luckily he missed, and he took off running, and she called the police, and when they showed up, they barely questioned her, and they were basically about to leave, and she saw him running by again, and she was like, hey, there he is, like, please go question him. And they were like, no, it's fine, like, you didn't get shot, so we're basically gonna just leave it alone. So it's believed that if they did actually talk to him and arrest him, they would have seen that he was already a convicted felon and he was having a firearm, so he possibly could have been arrested at that time and wouldn't have been out and capable of murdering Savannah and Tiffany. So he's being held right now in the Solano County Jail awaiting further court dates, and he's facing multiple charges, including 2 counts of first-degree murder and domestic assault. So yeah, I just wanted to cover the case because I noticed I don't think anybody has covered it yet. I know this video was pretty fast and kind of short. I wanted to get straight to the point, only provide facts, leave out opinions, and, you know, just things that wouldn't matter and weren't relevant to the case. I really want to know what you guys think. Did you guys hear about this case? Did you guys know about this case? Want to know what you guys think about people thinking it's okay nowadays to just put bodies on the internet. This day and age that we live in, we go on the internet not expecting to see something like that, but it's happening more and more, and we got to figure out if there's a way that maybe we could stop it or provide a different form of punishment for these people who keep putting these bodies on the internet, because they're affecting a lot more people than just their victims. So maybe they'll be able to provide some sort of law against it where they can then be charged and, you know, added more time to their sentence because of that action also. But anyways, Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Okay, bye.